Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by Virtual Racing School. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Marco Bernera, and we are here live at Phillip Island here on Apex Racing TV. Caught myself there.
We are indeed on Apex Racing TV, Austin, and welcome to what's going to be a fantastic run on a very, very tough and forgiving racetrack here in Phillip Island. And the iGPFun drivers are certainly going to be facing a very, very, very tough task today. Again, incredibly difficult track, beautiful track, lots of elevation changes, unforgiving runoffs, tough to pass also. I'm expecting some very, very good races. The only positive things for these guys, Austin, today, compared to the usual around here in Phillip Island, only 22 degrees on the tarmac, which is incredibly cool for this place, no matter the time of the year.
It's incredibly cool, and they're doing that to help these cars' tires, because we've been told around lap 25 it's going to get very interesting here. 32 laps are on the pace today, but after lap 25, these right side tires are going to be extremely warm. Phillip Island, very fast, very flowing, but very, very tough on the right-handed side of these tires. And you know what? If you've never been around here, we should probably go on board of a driver just to show you how many left-handed turns there are. And this is one of the largest left-handers. Zainier, around turn number 2, very hard to get right. Then turn number 3, another really fast left-hander. Then hard into the braking zone for this hairpin. Very good for an overtaking spot. You want to hit that apex curb right there, then get all the way out to that runoff. And then, what's this? Another left-hand turn. This one very off speed, very cambered, and you can just hear the tires actually screaming for just a little bit of help right here into the S section. And it's probably this is our favorite turn on this course. Left-hander, blind up the hill, and then get all the way out there, hard onto the brake, then a right-hander, and then, you know how I said that turn number 2 is the longest left-hander? I lied. This is the longest left-hander. It's technically 2 different left-hand turns, but it's just flat out straight through here. And we've seen this happen to so many cars. These tires do not like this track. On the right side, the left side tires are pretty good.
Yes, they clearly don't like, and it's going to be interesting to see if the cars will be able to follow each other. I suspect that thanks to the cool weather, as you can see there from the track map, by the way, explaining, we were following our current second place starter. Did they change the water textures in iRacing? They seem much more watery. Fluid, yeah.
Yes. I believe I did read something when Long Beach came out that they improved the water textures to be more, well, fluid, watery looking. Water. How do you texture water?
I have no idea, but I have to say that it looks very, very cool. As it's one of the biggest. I mean, not only this place is one of the most beautiful racetracks in the world. Just drive around and not lap, let alone race, but the scenery is also fantastic, both for the drivers and for us watching, as you can see a lot of drivers, and also you notice when you go off, you have this, I for the life of me can't remember the name of these, you know, let's say land barriers more than tire barriers on the majority of the race. There is a technical term which it's escaping me for some reason. So yeah, I mean, basically they are hard. That's the point I was about to make. So you don't want to hit those, and then this section is absolutely beautiful, as you were saying, Austin. Coming out of the final corner here, and onto the start-finish line, as you can see. By the way, you have to know that this racetrack, of course, as you know, very popular for bike racing. And as you know, bike racing both in the World Championship and in the Superbike World Championship, as well as in the MotoGP World Championship. A lot of Italian riders that always said that this is their favorite race of the season outside of the Italian races, because the next town over is actually called Sanremo, which is named after a very popular Italian town, and it has a massive Italian community, and they say that the food is absolutely fantastic. I mean,
It
Italian
certainly is a fantastic place, scenery-wise and, well, local-wise. It's on its own island, so whenever you're racing on an island, which you don't really get the chance to because, well, transporting stuff to an island is very complicated, as we were looking at one of my drivers. Well, the qualifying is ended, so I'll give him a pass, but that's not how you cut that corner.
And yeah, there we go. Here we go with the starting grid for today.
42 cars lined up here today at Phillip Island. Francesco Meola is going to be taking pole, followed by Luciana Zanier, Samuel Hermer, Dave Martin, Gavin Petty, QT Marteau, Leonard O'Cherry, Bartosz Gruszewski, Zachary Beeson, Premzal Piesnek, Victor Barris, Zoltan Zomotor, Ben White, Luca Ferrani, Lucas Maruk, Will McIntyre, Andrea Brichetti, and Michael Podozek in 18th. They're followed by Stuart Millen, Antonio Tellez, Adam Talsma, Christian Glamsetter, Nick Carty, Rob McGuire, Clemens Punzengruber, Johan Bergeson, Richard Van Veen, and Angelo Violas in 28th, followed by Mohamed Balecki, Sonny Rosario, Kuchi Aito, Massimino De Laurentiis, Mark Mathis, Alex Hopkins, Phil Waller, Russell Kirkwood, Daniel Jutso, and Chuck Morrow. And at the last 4 spots is Iari Arnio, Peter Brudzinski, Reed Dennis, and Alaric Van Den Boss at the end of our 42-car grid. The thing is, we want to bring up the qualifying time again?
Yes.
Go down to the bottom. Go down to the bottom. All the way to the bottom.
Yeah,
39 cars within 1 second of the leader.
Yeah, that's going to be, I mean, a very, very balanced race, to say the least, Austin. And I cannot wait for it to start. We are just 30 seconds away, more or less. The cars are hidden behind let's see, is there a good camera for the start? There is not.
The hill. We are literally FIA at Portimao right now.
Yes.
But we're lined up at the starting grid. 39 cars within 1 second of Francesco Meola. The 5 red lights are coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here getting ready to rock and roll here at Phillip Island for the iGPFun Formula 3 Series, and it's go, go, go! And it's a good start by Meola, but I realized he might have jumped the start off the line. As they race it down into turn 1, there's a little bit of a wiggle from Meola off the line, so we might be seeing him go into the pits. We're 3 wide immediately heading into turn 2.
And one of the big risks here is going wide, especially in turn number 1, but also 2, and now getting into Stoner and the Honda hairpin. If you go wide, especially at the beginning of the race, you run the risk of then being basically a bowling ball and piling into unsuspecting traffic. As you can see, they are all taking it very easy. Luca goes very
going wide, playing it safe. He could have held it around the outside, but he probably wanted to avoid someone on his inside. As Meola and Hermer and Zanier leading out our podium positions, but it's just really Meola and Hermer nose-tail with each other. But we need to keep an eye on Meola to see if he did get a black flag for a false start. It was one of those wiggle starts. You know the feeling. We've all done them here on iRacing. Sometimes you get a black flag for it, sometimes you don't. We're going to find out right now to see if Francesco Meola goes into the pit lane. Does he? He is not. So race steward said he is fine.
But now Werner looking very, 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 very keen on taking that first position on the racetrack, Austin.
He's in the draft. The draft is super powerful here, and this is where you really want to do business here. Get in the draft, find a partner, pull away from the rest of the pack. We're also going to have about a 5-car train behind you, like Zanier and Martin, Petty, Marteau, Cherry, Gruszewski, Beeson, and Piesnek have. They are in their own little train. Just look at that train of cars. This is a very fast track. You only got about 2 real hard braking zones to really break yourself off from the rest of the grid, and this is one of them in that first hairpin. As you see Marteau sitting in 6th place, going around the outside right there. This is Grzeski in 9th place, and it really looks like he's in the midfield. We got a car off. That's Violas. No, that might have been Richard Van Veen, actually.
Yeah, and Glamsetter was involved in something because he dropped many positions. But as we go back to the front of the pack, Ermer, Meola, Zanier, Martin and Petty, your top 5. We have 3 British drivers and 2 Italian drivers, but the 2 Italian drivers are the only ones in the top 5, in the top 8 who have lost 1 position. Everyone else staying put apart from Zachary Bison is +1, and of course the former Flying Duck himself, Samuel Ermer, who's now in the lead of the race.
Yeah, he's the former Flying Duck. Well, he's flying right now. He's probably getting the duck back on there. Because that would be even better because he is a mighty duck indeed. Had to say it. As down the inside, Victor Barris gets overtaken by Goloszewski ahead of him.
See Zomotor here trying to attack Victor Barris, who's trying to attack Bartosz Grzeczny.
Oh, here comes Barris. He's looking for a revenge move down the inside, hard onto the brakes, gets right up in there, over the top. Barris, Grzeski, and Zomotor all involved.
Not the way to do it.
That is very unfortunate right there. He had the move going into the corner, but I feel like he just went a little bit wide, didn't get the apex completely locked down, and got into his sidewall. We've seen this when a driver hits another wheel and it just sends the car flying. Here he is. Well, he's just on that curb. Actually, no, he got turned into.
Massive wreck.
Oof.
3 cars involved.
Could have been a lot bigger, but thankfully that hairpin has some runoff right there, so it's not like Monaco where it just blocks everything up there. And here comes Meola down the inside heading into turn 1, and he's going to return the favor on Samuel Hermer. And right behind him, unfortunately unable to get it, is Dave Martin. And the 193 of Luciano Zainier. Zainier getting pushed out to Martin. Martin gets into the grass and he comes across the line and blocking the track. And everybody get off to the brakes. That's QT Marto involved as well as he gets into Gavin Petty.
Several drivers involved. Marteau, Petty, as you were saying. And we hear more crashing noise there up front, as the drivers are trying to sort themselves out. So Marteau has jumped back to the pits.
Yeah, he has suspension damage from that. He got hit hard from behind by one of the cars behind in the smoke. And the iRacing new smoke model just blocks the track completely. Especially if you have your settings on high. And I know of everybody getting new graphics cards and everything. And iRacing being very not computer intensive on the graphics. You can really get high-res graphics with a card that's 4 years old right now. And, well, that smoke effect just really blocked over the track. You couldn't really tell where that car is, and he got struck from behind, as this is Dave Martin and Gavin Petty. They're both heading into the pits, and Francesco Meola has pulled out half a second gap, but, you know, behind him, they're leading by 2 seconds to Luciano Zainier, who is surprisingly in a world of his own.
You know what's less GPU intensive from today? SDK Gaming iRacing Live Timing app with a new update that is giving us an update warning.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but,
a very interesting warning message.
Yeah, but on the upside, from today it will use exactly 0% of your GPU memory. So, of course, you can find out more sdk-gaming.co.uk, and you can have these graphics or customize your graphics, whatever you want for your streams. Luca, where are you going? And of course, for your broadcast needs, and also you can use it as a basically software to get the most out of your race with the live timing, iRating gain, fuel strategy.
Great tool for spotters, I must say. I know in my endurance races that I race with a few friends, and I know I'm not on their level, I hop into spotting mode, and I just watch their time and compare it to the other times, and it tells me how many times that we've been in the pits, when they've been in the pits, and it also very good for fuel uses, I must say. And it just looks really good.
This livery from Hermer gives me the impression that it's like maybe a tree car, like made out of tree or out of wood with some foliage, at least from this perspective. I don't know about you, Austin.
You know, it looks like one of those tables that somebody took a broken down a rotted tree trunk and then just filled it with resin. It looks like one of those marbled resin pieces. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I love watching those videos. Wood art is like one of my favorite things, but it does look like that, and it's a very beautiful car that he's running. We need more artsy cars.
Who doesn't love wood art? I mean, it is, after all, Ron Swanson's passion, right? So.
Yeah, woodworking. And, well, not doing anything for localized government.
Did you know he did the NASCAR commercial on NBC a few years ago?
I really need to see this now.
Yes.
Knowing how you and me love Ron Swanson stuff, if somebody makes a Ron Swanson car, please send it to us.
Pignonczek on the outside, trying to get the job done on Cherry, and Polish driver overtakes the Swedish driver. They got Andrea Brachetti following very, very close. In front of them, Zachary Piso in the middle of nowhere, and Meola has not been able to pull away from Hermer. I mean, he does pull away in the middle portion of the track, but then on the straights and in the big sweeping corners in the first part of the track, seems like Hermer has what it takes to stay up close. Because once again now, this time is Pignonczek who has to defend from Cherry and Brachetti, which you can see on the left side of your screen. There are a couple of very, very close packs of cars, so you will see it better from here. You can hear the tires squeal as they go up into Lucky Heights and down this very, very tough right-hander braking area, going down the hill. And of course you need to get it right, because you need to carry as much momentum as possible into this double left-hander onto the Gardner Straight for another lap that goes in the books. And we are on lap 8 out of 32, and you can see the movement left, right and center of these drivers trying to break the draft. Maybe too much movement. That's not for us to decide.
Yeah, it's for the race stewards to decide, but usually anything that doesn't result in a car getting crashed doesn't really get reported. And it's early on in this race. These drivers are still trying to get a handle of these tires and everything, but Piesnek leading Cherry on a chase, really. Cherry always following, and oh, that's deep on the brakes, almost getting it to back. There's some smoke up there. I think somebody might, Piesnek might have locked up right there. Yeah, there's somebody ahead of him, but ooh, that hairpin, very big tire kill right there. Let's ride on board of Cherry.
Yeah, he's going up the hill once again into Rookie Heights. Incredibly tough corner, both with cars and of course with bikes. Bit of a lock up there on the front right again from Pignonczek. And here he comes out of the final corner. Here they come, of course, with Brachetti following close behind. And once again, I'm sure we will see the dance on the front stretch, Austin. There we go, left, we're right, and now we go back to right once again. And then the middle looks like a cheat code for the PS1.
Dot speed activated.
Oh,
no! Oh my God! Leonardo O'Cherry has been sent to the Shadow Realm. Oh my gosh. That is one of the most violent crashes I have ever seen.
This is Oriol Servia at Laguna Seca. Like
oh
the
my
car,
goodness.
This
is just like that. This is just like the hit from the GT4 at Circuit de Americas in the TC Americas over the weekend that I saw. That GT4 got sent flying, but nothing compared to just a catapult that we just saw.
Yeah, the car basically used the nose as the bouncing point, again, like Oriol Servia in Laguna Seca many years ago in Champ Car. And, you know, they say that if you go out at Siberia, turn 6, you go in Siberia. This was at turn 2. And you go to the Shadow Realm, apparently.
Yeah, that is beyond the Shadow Realm. That is Ultra Shadow Realm.
Scrap here.
Care Center is going to be busy tonight.
Yep.
Because we saw something exactly like that in the Formula 3.5 yesterday at Silverstone.
Oh yes, we did it. Lap 1. Here we go. Barani on the Milna. We have a perfect view on board with McIntyre.
Oh, look at Ronnie down the inside. Very nice apex speed. Gets ahead of the nose, and now he's got that position made. And oh, McIntyre trying to get a little spice right here. Late apex. He's going to have the speed coming into the S's, and now he's right on the back of Stuart Millen. He knows that McIntyre is right there. That 141 for 14159. That's a long team name. As Ronnie using all the track and then some, getting out into the dust, and McIntyre is going to back off hard onto the brakes as he is following currently in turn 10 in 10th place. Stay ahead into that double left-hander. Back to our fight for the lead. Samuel Hermer right on the back of Francesco Meola. Meola defending onto the inside, and Hermer, he lifted it off. He's not going to fight this. They're leading by 3 seconds, so they just need to conserve their tires, and that's probably what Hermer's doing. He's probably going to be taking this race a little bit easier now, because we know around lap 25, these tires are going to be hitting that wall, and it's going to be a completely different game.
Yes, and even with the cooler track temperature than expected, it's still going to be a problem, because this is a very abrasive racetrack, this Phillip Island racetrack. So that's very smart from the quick drivers up front. You are not like, it is okay not to be, you know, super fast every lap if it makes your life easier towards the end of the race, as we have Phil Waller and Chuck Mauro. They are going at it into the Honda hairpin. The American has the inside, the other American has the outside. Not very helpful, I know. And Chuck Mauro gets the job done and up into P19. But Phil Waller now has the inside at Siberia. But we need to cut to the lead because here comes Hermer.
Hermer and Meola side by side with each other as they race down the front straight, heading into turn 1. Meola gives up the spot to Samuel Hermer. And, you know, we're in the IndyCar strat where we're just swapping spots with each other now. And, you know, you share the draft, you don't fight each other, you're going to be getting a lot more speed, and you're just going to start leaving everybody behind. But 2 cars going out for the lead right now, and they are not teammates. So we aren't going to be seeing a Mercedes F1 strat here, or a multi-21, so it's going to be very fun at the end of this race.
Let's see if Meola can keep up with Hermer, as Leonard Cherry, unfortunately, seems to have run into another... oh no, he parked the car probably. He made it back thanks to the fast repair, but...
I feel like... I feel like it's just something might just be up with himself, as Glamsetter is off into the gravel, and well, it's taking a long time to get back on track, making sure everything is all good, as Christian Glamsetter sits in 28th right there, which, you know, you really want to be happy with 28th, but in a 42 car field, that is pretty respectable. And usually we have 62 cars lined up here, depending on the track and how much spaces we have in the pits to allow as many cars as we can. That can really, that's top 50% right there in the full grid. Stuart Millen looking for that 8th spot, all up in that draft, up looking for Ronnie, sending it down to the inside, Ronnie off to the outside, and Millen up in the 8th.
I never thought I'd say this in my life, but you know, you were making comparisons to IndyCar, you know, at least here they can overtake. Which
yeah, because they don't have PJ1 on this track.
I was trying to visualize running on an oval, and then I was trying to visualize in my head that instead of having like the full corner, you have a wall 1.5 lane from the bottom. That's basically because everyone who tried to go up last night was.
I know that when they repaved Texas, they made turn 1 a little bit narrower. Not that narrow.
Yeah, that was.
Gosh, I don't know whose decision was to slap that stuff on there, but that's how you ruin a racetrack.
Yeah, and remember, it was there last year. It was there because of
NASCAR.
were supposed to was NASCAR, then they didn't for the pandemic. So they said it's staying the track as we go with Neola on the inside. I don't know what's the. I mean, hopefully it rained and it took a bit of it away because it's seriously.
Apparently, it doesn't wash out.
Yeah.
Apparently, it doesn't wash out. So Texas is need for another repave. And I know the perfect place for to take Texas's replacement. It's called Coda. Hey, my home track.
Listen, we have Iowa, we have Richmond, we have Michigan.
Iowa's an amazing track.
I would love for IndyCar to go back to Michigan.
Ooh, that might bring back some unfortunate memories for a few people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Auto Club.
No, Auto Club is under renovation.
Oh yeah, it's a half mile now. That's right. I completely forgot about that.
On board with Meola, who took back the lead. So, answering our question earlier, can he keep up with Ermer? Yes, but Ermer can keep up with him, and this is again some swap drafting. They are not fighting each other too harshly on the straights. They are playing a very, very smart end. Zachary Bison defending on Piniaci. These two guys are not making it easy for each other. We haven't seen anyone go wide there in turn 1, which is good. Yeah. Then you go wide there, you cut across the grass, and you either hit the Marshall post or you hit another car. Depending
or
on
you go flying across the entire berm and you get a jumping vibe of a car flying over your head, which I have experience with.
Hey, I think you can basically cut half the track if you go.
Oh, you can jump the track if you want to. You'll get completely disqualified by iRacing, but you know you'll have a funny story to tell.
Hey, I'm not breaking the rules. I'm testing their elasticity, no? I love this fight. It's been going on for 15 laps now between Maruk, Milne and Varani. Are they closing in on Brachetti, who's been in no man's land? No, they are. I mean, barely. So I'd say no, they are not closing in on him. And behind them, surprisingly, the rest of the field is pretty much all spread out, apart from Kunzengruber with White and Adam Talsma.
Yeah, Talsma is. Yeah, he's just on himself. Lucas Varani and Lucas Maruk. We got a 3-car battle right now. Lucas Maruk for Digital Apex Cyanide, leading out Varani and Millen. And you know this, as he said, the field is really spread out. We got a car in the wall. That's Russell Kirkwood coming out of the second hairpin, coming out of that downhill. And hey, the tires are getting burned out right now. Let's see what's happened to the 777 of Russell Kirkwood. Hard onto the brakes heading into here. And, well, just a little bit too much mustard. It's so slick coming out of that corner.
Yeah, and also you are braking downhill. And then the moment you reach the bottom of the braking area, you have a compression that then the track goes up once again. So talk about having an unbalanced state of the car. No matter how you set it up, the car is going to want to go. The track is pushing the car in every which way, no? So with worn tires.
The track kind of catches you and then tries to throw you out of it immediately, and that just makes this track so hard to master, but it also just makes it so fun. It's like the corkscrew at the very bottom of the hill. I felt that in the USF 2000, and let me tell you, there's nothing like a depressing feeling of a track trying to shoot you out of a corner. As Luca Veroni on the outside of Lucas Maruk, he's made that move easily, using that track to his advantage, and now we're going to start seeing these tires really start to struggle. But, you know, I was about to say, you said these cars are really spread out right out. Let's bring up our dancing dots of doom on our minimap, and we can just show you how spread out they are. Now, we got a little bit of clusters here and there. I see a few trains. The fight for 7th place is started that. And look at this fight for 10th. Zolta Zomer stuck onto the outside. That's Will McIntyre try to sneak his way down there in the hairpin. Will McIntyre in that Austrian UK car.
Yeah, the livery of the
very
season.
Lovely story. Very nice livery and very well done livery. As Christian Glamstead is setting down to the inside of Kirkwood. Kirkwood, he's probably still suffering from a little bit overheated tires. Glamstead is trying to hold it around to the outside, side-by-side racing, and he's going to have the speed on the outside. Glamstead putting the power down and up to 27th.
Let's see if he can hold it on to the braking area for the Honda hairpin. Here we go, Kirkwood sends it.
Kirkwood for Kirkwood.
Oh, contact
a little bit of contact. Hopkins got into the back of Kirkwood right there. Kirkwood very, very hard onto the brakes, and Hopkins might have some damage from that.
Let me see if we can get a look at his front wing. A bit far away. He seems to be okay, at least from these pictures here.
There was a little bit of sparking, but yeah, he should be fine.
Oh,
and Office Hermer, our leader, is off, and Mayola takes the lead. And this is in the S section, coming out of Sector 2. And here's a replay of what happened right here. And it's a very odd spot where we got that, where he went off track. I would usually expect someone to go off track. Oh, that's how he did it. Got into the grass. What a save by Samuel Hermer.
Yeah, he almost went into Siberia there. But now, all of a sudden, Francesco Meola has got a second over his closest rival today.
Luciano Zanier. He's in this train.
Yeah,
where did he come from?
Well, he's been very, very, you know, he lost a spot at the start, but then he's been very consistent. As we have Pieniączek defending from Zachary Bison. He's been very consistent, Zanier, and so he's trying to now make the most out of it. As on my other monitor, I have AJ Foyt punching Harry Lyondike out of nowhere. Nothing of the sorts happen here in iGPFun, thankfully. Always very respectful driving and very courteous community, I have to say. I mean,
nice one,
it's incredibly clean. I mean, at the start of the race at Phillip Island, usually it's dramatic. As Glamsetter going for the move on Kirkwood on the inside. Little bit wide there, but then he becomes the inside for the Scotsman. For the American, sorry. Why did I say? It sounds like a very Scottish name.
I think you do. It is. Kirkwood? Yeah, that sounds
Russell Kirkwood,
you know,
sounds a lot like a Scottish name. But no, he's...
you know, we should get Peter in here, and he can give us the rundown on that. And Piesnek has fallen down to 4th place. I mean, 5th place. Something might have happened to him, and Zachary Beeson is now sitting in 4th.
Yeah, Zachary Beeson went past him. And we will see how.
Well, okay, this is just a drag race down the straight, and well, the opportunity was there. He took that opportunity really side by side through turn 1. And that is such a scary moment because these drivers are trying so many different setup choices. I know drivers that are using a little higher downforce setup, drivers that are using a little downforce setup, and some of them are trying something with the suspension to really get the car rolling through these corners and using as little downforce as possible and really trimming out these F3 cars. So going through turn 1 side by side with somebody when you don't have all that downforce is very, very impressive.
So that for a second, Milne and Baruch almost coming to blows. I think McIntyre has joined the party, Zomotor as well. As Luca Varani
right
is trying to leave the party.
Yeah, Varani put in a great lap going on, and looking behind him, he does have a little bit of a gap, but that draft is so powerful. Beeson looking down the, well, yeah, Beeson holding on that outside line as Piesek looks down to the inside and jumps up into 4th. This is Stuart Millen on the back of Lucas Maruk, and I'm seeing the car starting to slide through that corner now. The tire grip is getting very, very low. And here comes Millen looking down to the inside, hard onto the brakes, side by side, heading into the hairpin. And it's going to be Maruk and Millen still side by side as they head into the left-hander. And the outside line is really preferred right here. Maruk gets onto the brakes, and that's allowed Stuart Millen to jump up into 8th, but Maruk got onto the brakes, unfortunately, and this has allowed Zoltan Zoboter to sneak his way in there, and it's also allowing McIntyre to get up there as well. That was very close through there.
They find a way to make it work, as we see the other Austrian driver in the field, Clemens Punzengruber, trying to fight with the beautifully liveried car of Ben White. Speaking of quick drivers, Victor Barris, involved in that wreck, is now at the start, is now in P31. We have also this train of other cars with Glamsetter, Hopkins, and we were talking about Kirkwood just a few minutes ago. But back to this fight.
Yeah, this is a great fight. We have on our screens with Michael Podosek and Adam Talsma right behind on their fight for 12th place, nose to tail with each other. And very nice fighting between these two. They're very respectful towards each other. He's trying to look down to the inside, and now he switches his mind going to the outside. Ooh, trying to sell a dummy, saying which line he's going to go. Very indecisive out of Talsma going into there. And the Metallica car, well, he's trying to ride the lightning and be as unpredictable as a lightning strike on the back of Michael Podosek.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing you know, he might be throwing a jar of mustard at him.
And I would stop my car and grab that, to prevent it from crashing on the ground and, spilling all that delicious mustard on the tarmac, which would also, I think, warrant a safety car or something,
It might be grippier than PJ1, honestly, so I would probably leave it on the track.
We have a problem for another driver,
Ooh.
Peter Bruznicki. Polish driver, new face, I think, in the championship.
Yeah, new face. First time I've seen that, seen him in the iGPFun series, because I remembered I stumbled on his name because I never saw that name before, but now I have. So welcome to the series, Peter. Side by side through the S's coming out of Siberia. Kirkwood, Hopkins.
I don't
and
know.
Kirkwood's at the stop. That's Sonny Rosario. And
I am amazed at how many times we've seen these drivers. Oh, mistake there from Kirkwood, who had a terrible exit. I'm amazed how many times we've seen them side by side in these long sweeping corners. And they have almost never made contact.
This is tight. This is tight. Down to the inside goes Hopkins. Sonny Rosario said they're going to go 3 wide. Heading down into turn 1. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Oh my goodness. Hold on to your hats. What a move down the inside. Sonny Rosario. 3 spots in 1, but Russell Kirkwood finding it back down to the inside, coming out of this low left-hander. There's contact in the back. Alan Hopkins goes off into the gravel after he made contact with Christian Graham Slater. He's trying to sneak it down to the inside.
And I think I jinxed it.
My goodness. Yes, he did. But wow, what a move by Sonny Rosario. And we're about to see it again, as this is Zoltan Zomo, Stuart Millen, and Will McIntyre. McIntyre just staying down in the draft of Zoltan Zomo, but now McIntyre under pressure by Stuart Millen. He's looking down to the inside. He's getting his spot back. He's back into the 9th place. So the battle for 8th between Zomo, Millen, McIntyre, and Maruk. Nose to tail with each other with less than 7 laps to go. And this is where we were told to believe that the tires are going to start going out. They're going to be hitting that wall. And I'm going to tell you, I think the track's heated up a bit.
Weather component, 21 degrees, it has cooled. We were at 23.
All right. Okay. I'll take that. I'm surprised that it cooled down. How did it cool down?
Well, we are in the southern hemisphere, so it is.
Oh, it's winter.
It is.
It's fall.
It's fall.
Fallish.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I'm Texas. It's only summer, winter.
You know, so maybe we have a little bit of, you know, the sun is, you know, iRacing simulates also the previous 3 days before the session. Oh, that's a very aggressive overtake from Bison, and maybe
Pucker factor 20.
You know, iRacing simulates the previous 3 days before we launch the session, so probably, of course, it assimilated the fact that the sun is not as high up in the sky as in the summer, and Zomotor is off at Stoner.
Oh no, Zoltan, he was doing so well. Off into the gravel, and ooh, almost made contact right there as well. And wait, I think I just saw a, Christian Glamsetter going off at that corner as well. Did he make contact with anyone?
It was Grelechki.
Yeah,
livery.
the tires are leading off, and he's off as well. I think we've hit our, I think the tires have hit their limit.
Keep an eye, especially in the close battles, because that's when you really can make a mistake trying to force, you know, a bit too deep into the corner, or you know, trying to do too much in you know, when changing directions, and all of a sudden you're off. So let's keep an eye on these close fights. McIntyre now on the inside with Milne on the outside as they get into turn 1 for the 26th time out of 32, or 32 for these drivers.
It's going to be very tight through here. Millen and McIntyre still side by side. Lucas Burke has got a great view of this fight. Watch these rear ends. They're going through there much more cautiously, as I feel like a few calls that came out over the radio saying, hey, the tires are starting to slip out.
Oh, McIntyre on the outside at the Honda hairpin. He's able to make it stick, then keeping it on the inside. And Siberia should have a poorer run, because the track is slightly banked in favor of the outside lane, and that's why Stuart Milne was able to get on the power a bit quicker than him, and therefore getting the job done. On board with Lucas Maruk as we watch the back of the number 141. We have a fight here between Gruber and Matisse.
Gruber, he's just sitting back right now behind Mark Mathis. Let's jump up to Lucas Maruk as he goes down to the inside of Will McIntyre as they're trying to chase down Stuart Millen.
Wait for the hairpin and very quickly cut. No, we won't. We will go straight away because Bison defending from Pignonchek, and the Polish driver isn't able to make the move stick. The other Polish driver, Potocek, is defending from Talsma, side by side at the Honda hairpin, and Potocek is able to defend. I wanted to see the gap at the front of the field. As you can see, ebbing and flowing just a bit, but Hermer will need a bit more if he wants to go and grab the victory from Meola.
Indeed, and Meola, well, he's just been, he pulled out such a very nice start to this race, and well, him and Hermer, and he's just been very consistent. Now, there's a little bit of drag effecting Samuel Hermer. He could drag this back, but what he really wants is Francesco Meola to make a mistake. But how many times have we seen Meola in the lead and just run away with it?
Yeah, he could have been, you know, of course, on the podium at, or maybe a victory at Laguna Seca. He went a bit too deep while trying to overtake Luca Varani, and that ended up in tears. But certainly an incredibly quick driver. Here we go. Baruch Mild once again this fight, never stopping. I mean, this has been going on for the majority of the race. Here comes McIntyre. That was a bit brave, very brave, a bit aggressive, didn't work. Once again,
that was a very spicy look down the inside by McIntyre. Probably scared him just a little bit. Punzengruber looking down to the inside. Mark Mathis around the outside. There was a column of smoke right in front of him. Looked like somebody just missed their brake point and locked up the brakes, but they continue on racing. Kuchi Ito and Chuck Morrow nose to tail for each other. As we got back to Punzengruber and Mathis. Punzengruber on the inside heading into the S's. He's going to hold around the outside, getting all the way up into the dirt. And I know sometimes if you get into the dirt, it actually cools down the tires. So
doesn't anymore.
Doesn't anymore. Okay, and off into the grass. Zachary Beeson goes to avoid the lapped car. How is that for traffic avoidance? And that's Alex Hopkins. Let's run aboard Zachary Beeson.
Underwear change might be in order for the 42.
And I think Alex Hopkins, as he's holding around the outside, he's seeing these two cars coming in. No! He didn't lose a lot of time for that.
Holy crap.
He didn't. How? How do you not lose a lot of time for that? And I believe you just said holy crap in that Indy kart. Oh my gosh. I hope he's okay.
Here comes Matisse with Punzengruber side by side. The French driver has been able to get the job done once again. Swapping positions left, right, and center. Transatlantic Motorsport driver from Austria, one of the two competitors from the beautiful country that's very close to my country, of course. I think the last foreign country where I've been, was it before or after Spa? Many moons ago. Brachetti defending from Varani. So Varani has been able to finally make his way back to Brachetti, but unfortunately time is running out for the league organizer, and conversely time is positively running out for Brachetti. Here we go! Oh.
That's a big set, and he's got the move!
Potoshek defending from Talisman. Defense is successful. Go up to rookie heights and down. Tasma braking hard as Hermer gets the fastest lap of the race. Unfortunately for him, again, too little, too late. And we're entering the penultimate lap of the race as 41 minutes are on the clock, almost 42. Here comes Talsma in the slipstream. This is the closest fight. Oh, squeezed towards the wall is Talsma by Potocek. They keep their cool. There was a lapped car. Maybe that's why the Polish driver moved a bit to the left. In any case, the status quo remains the same. Potocek keeps the position. But for how long, Austin? Because it seems like through Stoner, Talma has a massive run.
Here he goes
on the inside.
Talma on the outside, trying to swing it around there on Potocek. Potocek holding it down to the inside, side by side. Potocek getting his nose in there and keeping it through the hairpin. Potocek stays in 11th, but Adam Talma, he is feeling very charged right now, trying to get back at him.
Kaczmaruk defending from McIntyre. In the meantime, all is good for the leader, despite another fantastic lap from Herbert, 22.1, gaining... oh, in front of the leader we have a crash.
Oh, that's right in front of Mayola. Mayola running there through blindly through the smoke. And here comes Hermer. White flag is out.
I think it was Hopkins, Barris and Brzezinski right in front of the leader. No, it wasn't. Maybe no, Barris. Only Barris and Brzezinski. Yes, and maybe someone else.
That's 3 wide right there, and into a little bit of wheel contact right there, coming out of that left-hander, and into Victor Barris. They go wide, and here comes Mayola through the smoke, like through the fire and the flames, and he carries on, still in the lead, as he is coming out of, he's nearing the hairpin. Where is Mayola?
The other car was Kirkwood, who has been able to avoid the mess, barely, might I add. Here comes Mayola into the final corner, Austin.
Mayola, power all the way down, leading by 7/10 as they go onto the straight, taking the checkered flag, taking the win, Francesco Mayola, followed by Samuel Herbert. What a race and drive he had. Luca Zanier finishing in 3rd as well. Piesnik tapes forward, followed by Zachary Beeson, and that is your top 5. We got a race to the line for 9th place. McIntyre, Maruk. McIntyre lined up on the back end of Maruk. Maruk going all the way to the pit box wall. Here comes McIntyre across the line. It's going to be Lucas Maruk by 4/10 of a second. Not 4/10, I mean 4/100 of a second.
Ito-san defending from Martin and Justo. This should net him P18. And indeed it does, as we wait for all the other drivers to come home. Oh, Austin, no! Your car!
In the wall. Coming out of turn 1, a very unfortunate hit. Well, it's after the checkered flag, so I'll give him that.
So it doesn't. You don't have to pay for it. This is not after the checkered flag.
He came across the line. He came across the line.
This is Deyes crashing, and thankfully for him, he didn't lose any position.
Yeah, I got his car behind Brzezinski. He came across the line right after the leader did, so he's going to come home in 27. I feel like he's wiggling. He's being like, I'm out of here.
And I think Antonio Telles was the last car we were waiting for, Austin. And so we have the final race results from tonight. iGPFun, and it was a lot of fun, I have to say. Sorry for the terrible pun in Phillip Island. Here we go then with the final race results that are on your screen right now. And congratulations to Francesco Mayola. Started from pole, won the race. Samuel Hermer in 2nd. It was a fantastic fight between the pair of them. They were actually working together for most of the race. Then a mistake from Hermer, and Mayola never looked back. The final couple of laps, I think Mayola was just keeping his tires cool, no pun intended again. And that's why Hermer closed the gap at 7/10 of a second. And then Luciano Zanier in 3rd. Pieniączek, apologies, in 4th, in front of Zachary Beeson. Luca Varani in 6th, in front of Andrea Barchetti, Stuart Mill, Lucas Maruk, Will McIntyre, then meets Michal Potocek. 11th, in front of Adam Talma, Zoltan Zomotor, Ben White, Mark Mattis and Clemens Punzengruber. Chuck Mauro in 17th, and Ito-san, Koji Ito in 18th. Then we have, scrolling down, Dave Martin and Daniele Justeau rounding up the top 20. Massimo De Laurentiis is 21st in front of the Finnish driver Ilari Arnio, who has, I think, a big plus next to his name. Yes, plus 17. Not the biggest mover. That was Chuck Mauro with a plus 21. Phil Waller 23rd in front of Johan Bigerson and Sonny Rosario. Russell Kirkwood was 26th in front of Antonio Teyes, last car on the lead lap. Peter Bruznicki is in 28th spot. The top 30 is rounded up by Christian Glemsetter and Reid Dennis. Bartosz Greleczki in 31st in front of Nick Carty and Richard Van Veen. Victor Varys 34th after a very bad crash. Alex Hopkins 35th. And then the retirees, Mohamed Boualeg, who I think also does the Apex Racing League Prototype Series on Fridays. That's coming back this Friday, by the way, this coming Friday. Don't miss that. And of course, this Saturday we will also have the Apex Racing Academy F3 Series back, so don't miss that once again. Gavin Petty, as I was saying, Alaric van den Bos in 38th position in front of Leonard Cherry. Massive wreck for him as well. Rod Maguire, QT Marteau, who will want to forget this round as soon as possible. And last but not least, the Brazilian Angelo Veloz in 42nd place. Do we have... yes, Austin, we have Luca for a quick chat apparently.
Yeah, we do have Luca Verani next to us right now. Luca, how was that race and how was the tire wear at the end?
Hi guys, I had fun once again. That's nice. I started low. I was a little unlucky in qualify, and by a little I mean I was 2/10 off my pace, and that was enough to start P14 instead of P4. The grid was really competitive. Then I dropped to P17 on lap 1. I thought the race was done. And instead, I managed to have fun and have some nice battles. Tires, I was gaining pace on my competitor towards the end of the race. I'm not sure. I think it was mainly because I was getting used to the track. I don't test enough this week, so I think my driving was getting a little better. The tires were going off a little bit, so that time was was the same overall. But I don't know. I mean, Andrea Brachetti certainly lost a lot of time on me the last few laps. Maybe his tire was short, and also the guys behind me, they dropped 5 seconds in the last 10 laps, so you should ask them.
Well, you seem to manage the tire really well. Next week, we go over to Canada for Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. How are you feeling towards that track, and how are you feeling that Wall of Champions?
I never hit it, but I have always been really slow at Montreal, so I'm not expecting anything on my part. Usually we have exciting races there. There are some accidents, the track is tough, it's difficult, but should be fun.
All right, thank you, Luca. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, you guys, VRS for supporting us, and all the drivers for participating, and of course, all the drivers, all the people that are watching this broadcast.
And I'm pretty sure they're all thankful for your support as well. Thank you, Luca. And now over to Marco for any final words.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye, Luca. Congratulations once again. It was a fantastic event, and I have to say that it's great to have these beautiful racetracks, in the calendar. And Phillip Island once again did not fail us, Austin. It was absolutely great the way the drivers had to interpret the racetrack and of course work with the opponents and the track. It was a beautiful mixture. Congratulations to everyone who finished the race. We saw how tough it was. Great stuff from Meola Hermer. Too bad for that mistake, because I think we would have had a very, very different outcome. At least, it would have been much, much tighter there at the front if Hermer didn't make the mistake. But of course, mistakes happen for a reason, and Meola was able to be more consistent and win the race. Now, how much of a scenery change we will go from the vast, grass plains of and elevation changes of Phillip Island to the tarmac hell, concrete hell, I should say, sorry, and close walls of Montreal, Austin. So these drivers are in for quite a shock.
They are certainly in for a big shock as we head over to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve next week. And I gotta say, Villeneuve, it's very scenic. We are going from scenic place to scenic place. It's a very beautiful track, but it's going to be a very draft-heavy track, going down that long back straight and through all these chicanes. And it's going to be a very big change of pace for some of these drivers. And I know it's going to be a bit cooler for a few of them. So we might have a little bit same of the tire wear, but it's going to be a very fantastic race. And I got to say thank you to all of our viewers who join us in this series. I know everybody in iGPFun, they come in after the race. They all have a massive viewing party. They laugh at some of the incidents, together to some of our bad jokes. But yeah, I can't thank everyone for this series enough, and it's one of my favorite series I ever commentated on. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here for the iGPFun Formula 3 series. I've been joined by Marco Barbanera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.